I've made this Dorito taco salad many times over the years. It is easy, lots of great flavor, and feeds a hungry crowd. We just love it. I'm starting by making my taco meat, and it's real simple. I have about a pound of ground beef that I'm browning and chopping until no longer pink. I'm draining off any fat. This is a packet of our favorite taco seasoning, and you can use the brand that you like or even add your own spices. I'm adding in a little water, bringing this up to a simmer and cooking until the water is absorbed. Once done, I'm letting this cool to room temperature and refrigerating until I'm ready. This is a great make-ahead salad. You can make the taco meat ahead of time, prep your vegetables, and just assemble the taco salad when you're ready to serve. And it's time to make this taco salad. The recipe below is for 1 full head of chopped lettuce, but I'm only making half today. So I'm adding in half of all the ingredients. In a large bowl I have the chopped lettuce, and I'm adding in some shredded sharp cheddar cheese, chopped tomatoes, rinsed and drained kidney beans, or you can use pinto beans, a little finely chopped onion, and you can use garden onions. We like black olives. And I'm adding in half of the cooled taco meat. Now the fun part. I'm lightly crushing some nacho cheese Doritos. I've also spiced it up with some spicy Doritos and even used Frito corn chips for this recipe. For the dressing, I'm using a Catalina salad dressing, pouring that over the top and giving everything a good toss. You can adjust the recipe to what you have on hand. You can add bell peppers or corn or leave out what you don't like. I love the taco spices, and paired with the crispy lettuce and crunchy Doritos, this taco salad just tastes good and is satisfying. The Dorito taco salad is a great potluck summer salad. You can make the taco meat ahead of time and even freeze it until you need it. A budget meal that is a good way to get the kids to eat their vegetables. I hope you give this retro Dorito taco salad a try and enjoy. This stovetop skillet chili mac and cheese recipe is one of those meals you can put on the heavy menu rotation because it's so easy and so good. If you need a quick, easy family comfort meal, this is the one. In a skillet on medium-high heat, I'm adding in half a pound of chorizo and half a pound of lean ground beef. The chorizo already has a great start and flavor with the spicy Mexican flair. Chop and brown until fine and no longer pink. Adding in 4 large cloves of minced garlic, 1 cup of finely diced onion, 3/4 cup of diced bell pepper, and 1 seeded diced jalapeno for a little back heat. Cook and stir for 2 to 3 minutes. And now for the seasonings. I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Giving that a good toss and cooking for 1 minute to release those flavors. This is 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes and the juices. And I'm also adding in 2 3/4 cups of chicken broth. I'm turning my heat up to bring this up to a simmer. At this point, you could also add in a 14-ounce can of rinsed and drained pinto or kidney beans, or maybe even some corn. Cooking and stirring for 5 minutes. This is about 10 ounces of pasta shells. If you want to add the full 16-ounce package, you will need to add an additional cup of chicken broth. Giving everything a good toss, bringing up to a low simmer, covering and cooking for 12 to 15 minutes or until the pasta is tender. I give the pasta a toss every 2 to 3 minutes during the cooking process just to make sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom. In the end, I want a light sauce surrounding all the pasta and enough liquid for the cheese to absorb. At this point, I'm turning off my heat. I'm adding in 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese, and one of my secrets to making this real creamy is 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. Giving everything a good toss until the cheese is melted and absorbed. And finally, garnishing with some chopped green onions and sprinkling with the remainder 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. This is going under a low broiler for a minute or two or until the cheese is melted. This stovetop skillet chili mac and cheese is going to feed 4 hungry people. A quick and easy weekday comfort meal that will please the family. I hope you give my stovetop chili mac and cheese recipe a try and enjoy. You probably have most of all these ingredients in your pantry. This Southwestern casserole recipe makes a lot of servings and will feed a large family. And these days we have to watch that budget and account for every penny. You can stretch that ground beef by adding a lot of tasty fillers, and this is exactly what this casserole is all about. In my pan on medium-high heat, I'm adding in 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm cooking and chopping until no longer pink. If there's any excess fat, you may want to drain some. Adding in 1 cup of diced onions, cooking and stirring for 2 minutes. Then I'm adding in 1 diced bell pepper and 1 seeded jalapeno, cooking and stirring for another 2 minutes. Now I'm turning my heat down to a medium. This is 3 large cloves of minced garlic. And for the spices I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of cumin, about 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper. Everything goes into the pan, stirring and cooking for 1 minute just to wake up those flavors. Next is 1 4-ounce can of chopped green chilies and 1 28-ounce can of tomato sauce, giving that a good stir. I can already see that I'm going to need to thin out my sauce, so I'm adding in about 3/4 of a cup of beef broth, giving that another good stir. For some more Southwestern taste and texture, I have 1 can of drained corn and black beans, bringing this up to a simmer and cooking for 5 minutes. Now I'm turning off my heat and I'm adding in 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Actually, I'm using what I have in the fridge. This is a combo of cheddar and Monterey Jack. And to make it extra creamy, I also have 4 tablespoons of cream cheese, giving that a good stir until all the cheese is melted. Here's where I realized that I needed a big bowl to mix everything together. In my 9x13 casserole dish, I'm combining my meat mixture and 16 ounces of cooked large elbow macaroni. I cooked the pasta shy of about 2 minutes, and you can use any pasta of your choice. Getting everything stirred together, covering with foil, and baking at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm uncovering and sprinkling the top with more cheese. Baking uncovered for an additional 10 minutes or until the cheese is melted. And the Southwest casserole is done, letting that cool for about 10 minutes before serving. Garnishing with some chopped green onions. You could also use some fresh chopped cilantro or parsley. This is one of those meals that you can make 1.5 pounds of ground beef go a long way. I love all the textures, flavors, and comfort in this meal. I hope you give this Southwest casserole recipe a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!